Hello team, today we have a very important topic. Today we'll learn more about strings. Why it is very important? Because every time you will do data manipulation in your program, you will manipulate with string objects most of the times. We start series of lessons about string type. In this section of training course we'll review source code of string class. I will put a stress on the most important methods that most likely you will use. Also we'll talk about string comparison, escape sequences, string formatting, and regular expressions. In this lesson we'll take a look how to create string object and we'll review main string methods. To understand topic better, let's start with examples. To create string object, declare a variable of string type first, and after that assign string literal to this variable. Pay attention that in this string we have spaces at the beginning and at the end. Now let me briefly cover main string methods. String length method allow you to understand how much characters do you have in the string. Contains method will return you true or false. In case string contains the string you specified as method argument, true will be returned and false otherwise. In this case, this string really contains this sequence of characters. That's why true is returned. IsEmpty is very useful method when you want to verify whether this string object contains any characters or no. You will use this method very often in your code to validate string before working with it. You can turn all characters to uppercase or to lowercase if you wish. For example, you may want to store all user nicknames in lowercase in your game to have consistent style. You can check if specified string started or ended with specific sequence of characters. In this case, our string not started with H, that's why false is returned. And our string is ended with space character, that's why true is returned. By the way, you can run this program on your local computer and investigate console output. When it is needed, you can replace characters in the string, like I do in this example. I replaced lowercase "l" with uppercase "l". Trim and strip methods, very important ones. Often you will work with strings which have leading or trailing spaces. Sometimes this might cause different errors. To eliminate cases when leading or trailing spaces cause errors, you will call trim or strip methods on string objects, before doing other operations with them. As you can see from this example, trim and strip methods remove leading and trailing spaces. The strip method is available starting from JDK 11 and it is Unicode whitespace aware. In case you are working with JDK of version 8, feel free to use trim method instead. You can get substring from string object. To do this, you need to specify characters index from index inclusively and to index exclusively. There are different business cases when you need to get part of the string from string. In JDK you can find different classes that not always work with string objects but works with array of bytes. Probably you will face with such cases during learning of input-output stream topic. So for now, just be aware that you can convert each string to array of bytes just like this. You can get array of characters if you wish. Just call to char array method and you will have array of characters. If you want to get characters from specific index, you need to use char add method. Another very important method, split. You will use it very often because a lot of times your program receives one single string and you need to split it first to process further. For example, you receive string of data with users. Information about each user is described in separate line. But you have single string object. What do you need to do? You need just to split this string by new line character. Split method takes regular expression as an argument. We'll talk about regular expressions a bit later. Right now understand that you can split string by regular expression and get array of strings. Like in this example, I split our word using E character. And look here what we got. Array of 2 elements. And here you can see our initial string. You need to understand that string objects are immutable. No matter how many times you will call different methods on string object, the initial object will remain the same. This type designed in such way that you can't change state of the object once you created it. Each method call doesn't modify existing string. Instead, it creates and returns reference to new string object. Always keep this in mind. Immutable objects have pros and cons, and we'll discuss pros and cons of a mutable object during the next topics when we'll talk with you about garbage collector and collections. So right now you know probably all main methods from string class. But still I encourage you to take a look at the source code and investigate what other methods does string type have. Thank you for your attention and see you in the next lesson.